not kidding about that helicopter either. Thank you, Dr. Hafner, for inviting me. I consider this a real honor to appear before you. And at my age, I'm pleased to see that there's people around to say nice things about me. Usually you only get that done when you're already passed on. I'd like to give my greetings to all the distinguished guests on the platform, and I would like to give my congratulations to the faculty. The faculty has done another job well done, and what the faculty does is so important. The future belongs to the educated, and I want to thank you on behalf of all the parents and relatives of the graduates. Congratulations to the graduates. Your fathers and mothers are surely proud of you. I suspect that the parents here tonight will remember this graduation long after you have forgotten it. But they have given you a tremendous gift by supporting your education. And if your parents are here tonight, be sure and thank them. I don't remember my graduation from Northwestern University, but I distinctly remember my graduation from medical school. And I want to assure the graduates that if I had not had the opportunity to be speaker here tonight, I would never have appeared at the front of the class. I know that most of you have had to work hard for your own education, and I've talked to many students about the sacrifices that they've made to get an education. Be assured that it was worth it. If your teachers touched your souls, you have received much more than you paid for. Up until now, you've had others define who you are, first as a child and most recently as a student. But let me assure you that the really exciting part of life is about to change. You graduates stand at the threshold of finding out who you're going to be when you grow up. And your life is going to be a great adventure. You are beginning this adventure in the greatest country in the world. If this graduation class was representative of a village of 100 people, that village would look like this. 80 of you would have some food and shelter, but 20 of you would not. One of you would be dying of starvation. 50 of you would suffer from some form of malnutrition. 82 of you would be able to read and write, but 18 of you could not do either. One would have a college degree, one would have a computer, and 6 of you would possess 59% of all the wealth, and most all of these people would be from the United States. So you begin your career as a citizen of the greatest, most wealthy country in the world. It is a great place to begin and live your great adventure. If your education has done for you what it was intended, you have figured out that there is much more to learn. If your education has truly been successful, you have begun a lifelong learning process with a love of learning. But what you know right now is going to be different from what you will need to know 30 years from now. I remember what life was like when I graduated. Coke was a drink. Pot was a utensil you cooked with. Hardware meant hammers and nails, and software was not a word. Scoring referred to athletics. I had never heard of CDs, laptops, word processing, or artificial hearts. Electrons were about as small as it got, and I didn't know anything about up quarks and down quarks. In medical school, I was taught that ulcers were caused by stress and cancer was going to be cured any day now. Infections were about to be wiped out. When I look back on what I was required to know as a student, I feel like I came from a foreign country. I come from the past, and that part of my life seems now simple and quaint. So the life you're about to begin is a living thing. Your college education in general prepares you to live and grow with it. The facts you have learned will change. 80% of what I taught in medical school is no longer taught and has been replaced in the curriculum. And knowledge continues to grow. 10 years ago, there were 8 planets, and now there is, well, I don't know how many now, because it keeps changing. 5 years ago, we wondered whether there were planets in the universe, and now we know that there are probably billions of them. The other day, I found out neutrinos have mass and that they change their form as they travel from the sun to the earth. And so it goes. Every day, there's more to learn. 30 years from now, as you sit at the graduation of your children, much of what you will need to know is not known today. But schooling can only take you so far. 4 of the 10 richest men in America did not graduate from college. The most vital lessons you must learn for yourself, and those are the life lessons. An education prepares you for those crises that happen at 4 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. And after you've lived a long time, you will come to appreciate the value of those lessons. And you will find yourself as a parent charged with preparing the next generation to find out who they're going to be when they grow up. Your most rewarding obligation will be transferring the love of life, the love of learning, and the respect for wisdom gained in your journey, and transmitting those to your children and the generations to come. Now, I've dealt with the generalities, and I cannot resist the opportunity to impart some more practical advice. But let me just clarify to the graduates what advice really is. Advice is made of memories. Advice consists of poorly remembered memories polished up for the occasion. It is more for the edification of the giver than is remembered by the receiver. But it's traditional in these speeches to give advice, and I'm not going to resist giving some. The briefest commencement speech was given by Irma Bombeck, who in front of a large crowd approached the podium, solemnly announced that all you needed for success in this life was written on the doors leading from the auditorium. Push and pull. Much to the shock of the audience, she then sat down and didn't say another word. The most practical commencement advice was given by Kurt Vonnegut, who advised, wear sunscreen. He said, if I could only give you one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. Scientists have proved the long-term benefits of sunscreen, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis to be more reliable than my own meandering experience. But here's my advice anyway. Listen sometimes. Talk occasionally. Always have something good to say, but choose who you say it to. Never lose, but if you do lose, always live to fight again. John Lennon said, life is what happens while you're earning a living. Imagine, John Lennon had a life just like the rest of us. My advice is to never let earning a living interfere with your life. If you do your best, you will earn enough in this life to get you by well, unless you're very foolish with what you have earned. Another piece of advice is to choose a good author. I suggest Dr. Seuss. Because this is the start of your life, I suggest you begin with the book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. You will find Dr. Seuss useful because almost everyone has read some of his works, and you will have this as a common ground. Dr. Seuss will amuse and teach you about the happy side of life. Dr. Seuss will help you introduce your children to the joy of reading. And as a grandparent, I can assure you that Dr. Seuss will bring you great joy if you read to your grandchildren. Everyone should have a hero. I nominate Wile E. Coyote. He is the cartoon character who's always chasing the Roadrunner. His is a character that has overwhelming optimism and dedication to his role in life. His persistence and imagination are qualities that you would do well to emulate. It also helps to have his resilience when you plunge over a cliff, something that we will all do every once in a while. Have a slogan. Mine is, life goes on. It helps me forget jealousy. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. The race is long, and in the end, you're only racing against yourself. So when I fall, I say, life goes on, and I get up and I get on with it. Some things you cannot change. Maybe you'll do the funky chicken on your 85th birthday. Maybe you won't. Your choices are partly chance, and so are everyone else's. But take charge of the things that you can. Sing, save old love letters and photographs, enjoy your parents, they love you, and now that you've grown up, you can appreciate and laugh at their idiosyncrasies much more easily. Remember, part of their irrational behavior comes from having raised you. Choose a prophet. I suggest Woody Allen, who said, showing up is 90% of success. Show up for everything. Show up enthusiastically, ready to enjoy the opportunity when it presents itself. And finally, the time to dance is when they are playing your song. Well, I think the band is about to strike up, and I think it's now your turn to dance, so I'm going to sit down and watch. Congratulations on a good start.
Senator Sullivan, on behalf of all of us here at SCF, I hope you'll appreciate this token of gratitude for your vision and your support as you have helped us evolve this college into something special, something that will have long-lasting impact not only on these students, but our future students as they obtain both their associate degrees and their baccalaureate degrees. As the father of the state college system, thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Larry.
Thank you.